Good morning. Welcome to yoga class this morning. I'm so glad you could join me. Let's start on our mats. Finding a comfortable seat. Sitting on a prop if that makes you feel better. Having your knees level with your hips or lower. Nice relaxed lower back, tall spine. Roll the shoulders back and down and turn the palms up. Lengthen the back of the neck. And if it feels good to you, close your eyes. So we've been talking about prana a lot. Summer's a very high prana time. Prana is life energy and it rides on the breath. And high pranic places are by the ocean, in the forest, any place that there's nature. So you notice I'm wearing green today and I'm on my green bamboo mat. So let's just imagine that we're in our favorite natural place, wherever that is for you, a local park or far away. Feel the liveliness all around you. You can even imagine prana as being lively little particles in the air. You might want to see them as little square boxes of oxygen. Apparently 2 oxygen molecules make a little tiny square. So you can see these scintillating oxygen boxes. And begin to feel those oxygen molecules as you breathe in, carrying prana with them, maybe little boxes with packets of prana inside, however it works for you. Taking slow, deep breaths, filling yourself with prana, exhaling away toxins and negativity. Gifting yourself with these little packets of prana. You might even imagine filling up those boxes with the toxins and breathing them out. Seeing them released where they'll do the most good. One more minute. And slowly come back into the room, only you can still imagine yourself outside. We're going to pick a flower. So this is a little face and hand exercise. So just reaching forward, bringing the thumb and the forefingers together, picking a flower, bringing it towards you and breathing it in, breathing in the prana, and then blowing it away. Opening the fingers, maybe you can think of a dandelion. The other hand, let's reach forward, picking a flower, bringing it up, bringing it towards you, breathing it in, and then fingers spread, blowing the petals away. Let's pick a flower all the way over to the side. Pick that flower up, bring it towards you. Blow the petals away. And come back to center. Let's find a flower on the other side. Reach over and pick it up. Bring it towards you. And blow the petals away. Let's do one more set. Pick a flower. Bring it up. Bring it towards you. Release your hands and blow the petals away. Reach forward, pick a flower. Bring it up. Bring it towards you. Release the fingers. Blow the petals away. Look to the side. Find a flower over there and pick it up. Turn the palm up, bend the elbow, bring it towards you. Release the fingers and blow the petals away. Last one, look on the other side. Reach over, pick a flower, turn the palm, bring that heel of your hand in towards you, release the fingers. Blow the petals away and come back to center. Let's do one more mental image. Let's hug a tree, rounding around that tree. Breathing in the energy of the tree, feeling that energy coming into your arms and hands and filling you with tree energy. And then let's inhale and open to the sky. Let's hug that tree, rounding the back, rounding the arms. Feel your forehead against the tree, communing with it. And inhale, open. And one more time, let's round and hug that tree. And open and down. And perhaps your nature place is by the ocean, so we'll take some Ujjayi breaths. Remember, you're breathing in through the nose, constricting the throat, breathing out through the nose, hearing that ocean sound. You can have your tongue at the roof of your mouth. And then you can move with the breath, rocking in the waves. You might imagine yourself splashing in the waves, just feeling the waves, or just walking in the waves, or just watching them. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. And maybe those waves turn you around into a little spinal twist. Inhaling, twist. And exhaling back. Feel yourself lift your spine as you twist, riding those waves of Ujjayi breath. And last set. And back to center. Continue breathing deeply, breathing in that prana. And let's come down onto our backs. Bringing the knees into the chest. Have your arms at your sides, and we'll just circle the legs. And again, if you want to be in nature somewhere, maybe you're bicycling. Maybe you're bicycling somewhere down a beautiful path or the NCR trail. And let's bicycle the other way. And give yourself a hug. Open the arms out wide and we'll just lower the knees from side to side. Inhaling up and exhaling over. Feel that lovely massage on your back. Feel your abdominals working, your obliques getting a lovely stretch. Take your time, go at your own pace. Do both sides equally, and then we'll come back to center. And give yourself one more hug. We're going to come up into table, so you can roll over and come into table. We'll do some spinal rock and roll first. And we'll meet in table. Let's do some cat stretches and some dog tilts. One last set. And come to stillness. And we'll flex one foot and lift one knee and lower it. This time we'll lift the knee and draw some circles. And circle back the other way. And down. And wag the tail before we go to the other side. Lowering the hips as far as feels good to you. Enjoying that little stretch. Hope you're having fun. Good. Let's come back to center. And we'll flex the other foot and lift the knee and lower it. This time we'll lift the knee and draw some circles. And circle back the other way. And down. And let's give our wrist a stretch. So we're going to turn the back of the hand and lean into that. Stretching the back of our wrist. And we'll change sides, turn the back of the hand and press into it. And this time we'll walk one hand around and then stretch into the back of the wrist that way. And come back and walk the other hand around, press into the back of the wrist that way. And then we'll do our feet. Let's stand one foot out with the toes on the floor and press into the toes, press into the ball of the foot, lifting the heel up, engaging the leg. And then let's turn the top of the foot down and press into the top of the foot. You know, we don't stretch the foot this way very much. It's always bent. So this is a really intense stretch and good for the front of your ankle. And again, if this is tiring for your hands, you can go down on your forearms and do this, or even lie on your belly if you need to. Let's send the other leg out, pressing into the ball of the foot, lifting the heel, engaging the leg. And then we'll point the toe and press into the top of the foot. And come back to table. And take a quick break, stretch back into child. And if you want to circle your wrists in front of you or behind you. And we'll come to the table one more time for our balancing pose, sunbird. So let's send one leg straight out and back, pressing down into the foot and engaging the leg, and then lifting that leg up. Find your drishti on the floor and bring your other arm alongside your ear. Draw the belly in. Bring the head of the shoulder bone into your arm socket, head of your thigh bone into your hip socket. Focus on your lovely inhaling of prana and exhaling of toxins. Bring the hand down, bring the foot down, bring it in. Let's do that little tail waggle going as far from side to side as feels good to you. And then we'll send the other leg out, pressing out through the heel, engaging the leg, and then lifting it up. Find your drishti, bring your opposite arm alongside your ear. Engage your core. Lovely slow breaths, ujjayi breathing if that works for you. And down and back into child. And again, whatever works for your shoulders, your wrists. Let's take a down dog here. So from child pose, reach your hands as far forward as you can. Spread your fingers wide. Glue the base of your fingers into the mat. Inhale up so that your hands are in front of your shoulders. Bring your legs to parallel and turn the toes over. Take a deep breath and just lift the knees just as high as the heels, and we'll just hover here for a breath or two. Again, if this is too much, keep your knees on the floor. And then we'll begin to press back towards our legs, keeping the knees nice and bent. And then with each breath, we'll slowly unfold, straightening the legs as much as you like. Press one heel down as far as you can. Lift the other heel up as far as you can. And breathe. And switch sides. One heel presses down, one heel presses up. Chest presses back. Lift both heels up as high as you can. Lift your tailbone as high as you can, and then press your heels down, reaching those heels towards the floor. Pressing into the base of your fingers to reach your whole spine long and your chest towards your legs. One more breath here. And come on back down into table. Walk your hands back into table. And we'll bring the right foot through. So again, you can walk your foot forward, bringing your hip forward and down a little more if you want. I'm going to do some hip openers here. I'm going to inhale up into warrior one. And then we're going to open into goddess. So we're pressing that knee back. If you need to hold on to the leg, do that. We're coming into goddess, spinning your body. Feel the shoulder blades down your back, your heart nice and wide. Lovely opening on the inside of the groin. This is one of my favorite poses. We don't do it enough. And let's come back to center. Bring the hand to the floor. And we'll come into revolve side angle. Bring that hand down. And you have a choice of going back into table and then child, or table and then downward facing dog. 3 breaths in whichever pose you've chosen. While you're here, you can spread your toes wide. And come on back down onto your hands and knees, coming into table from whichever pose you've chosen. And we'll bring the opposite leg through. Let's walk that foot forward. I'm going to turn my back to you because we're going to come on up. And from here, if it feels safe, we're going to turn into goddess pose, opening up the hips. So we're pressing this knee back, feeling that stretch in the inner thigh, bringing the shoulder blades together and feeling the chest expand. Inhale back to center, bring the hands to the knee, and then the opposite hand to the floor will come into revolve side angle. Dropping the hips, spinning the rib cage towards the sky. Knee is pulling towards the midline. Breath is long, slow, and deep. Bring that hand back down. Come back into table and yogi's choice, another down dog or child. From child, you can come into down dog and then standing, or come up to standing your favorite way. So let's meet in Uttanasana, forward fold. And if you like, you can do a little bit of circling of the hips here. As long as you're not getting dizzy, hanging over this long. If you're getting dizzy, you can have your head hip height. So just do a little circling of the hips. The knees and the ankles are getting a little circle too. And let's circle back the other way. Experiencing that nice little stretch. Let's bring the hands to the thighs and round up. Take your time. Tadasana here. Maybe you think you're a tree. Coming back to our nature imagery, let's do some sun shining breaths. Actually, let's do the variation where we reach up and then bring our hands down to our heart. Exhaling down, inhaling up. And then bringing the prana down through the midline, down to our hearts. Exhaling down, gathering prana, clearing our chakra column. And one more. And down. We're going to do a little lunge series, starting at the front of our mats. And we'll do a low lunge and then a high lunge variation, but you can do low lunge both times if you prefer. Okay, so we'll start with a half salute. I'll start on my right leg. When you're ready, inhaling up. Exhaling down. Right leg back into a high lunge and lower the knee to the floor. We're simply going to reach back into a toe hamstring stretch. And inhale forward, lifting the chest. And toe hamstring stretch. Inhaling forward. And one more. Inhale forward, lift the back leg, high lunge. Step forward, stretch over the legs. Inhale nice and slow, coming back up. And draw the energy down into your heart. Take a breath here, center yourself. And do the other side, inhale. And fold. Looking up, we'll send the left leg back into a high lunge, and then we'll lower that knee down, lifting the front toes up, reaching back. Inhale forward, dropping the hips, looking up. One more time, let's reach back. Inhale forward, look up, stretch up. And last one. Let's come back into our high lunge. Spring forward, stretch over the legs. Using the strength of our legs, pressing into the heels to come on up. Take all the time you need. And hands to heart. We're going to do a second set of that, and you can stay with that variation or do a high lunge variation. Here we go. When you feel the inner cue, inhale. I'm starting with my right leg. Get that leg back. And then press back, lifting the front toes up, and there's to knee variation, because your back heel is parallel behind your toes rather than on the floor at an angle. Inhaling forward into a high lunge. Exhaling back, straightening the leg as much as feels good to you, nose to knee. Inhale forward, drop the hips, lift the chest. One more time, reach back. Inhale forward and come into Uttanasana, hang over the legs. And nice and slow, inhale up. Really feel a difference in the two sides of the body here. Maybe you feel your heart's beating a little faster. Let's go to the left leg. Here we go. Left leg steps back into a high lunge, and you can stay in high lunge or put your knee on the floor. Reach back, lifting the front toes, nose to knee. Inhale forward into your lunge. Press back, front toes come up, back of the heel reaches towards the floor. Inhale forward, drop the hips, lift the chest. And one more deep, slow breath. Coming into your high lunge, rock forward. Recoup here, forward fold. Drinking in that prana. And inhale up. And hands to heart. Let's step out into a nice wide five-pointed star. Taking a few breaths here. Remembering Ujjayi breath if you like it. And we'll rotate our toes to the left, hips and shoulders facing front. Press the mat apart with your feet as you reach out over your front leg and come into Trikonasana. Remember, this bend is from the hip joint, not from the rib cage. The spine is straight. Feel this hip pulling into the socket and this one rolling back. Feel the shoulder blades sliding away from your ears and towards each other. Beautiful. Let's reach over, turn the toes, and come to a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale back up. Take your time. Turn the toes the other way, hips and shoulders facing the long side of your mat. Lift the toes and spread them wide, relax them down, and then reach over your front leg. Windmill your arms into Trikonasana. Windmill that arm down. Turn your toes, walk yourself into a forward fold. Bring your hands to your thighs and slowly come on up with a nice straight back. And until heel yourself back to center or quietly jump into Tadasana. I think it's obvious which balancing pose we're going to do today. Let's set up for tree. Rotate the knee out to the side, hands to your heart, find your drishti. Growing roots through the standing leg and choosing the height that works for you, making sure you skip your knee. Choose whatever arm variation you would like. Whoopsie. And when you're ready, come on down. Give yourself a little march out. And then come to stillness and we'll do the other side. Growing roots, rotating the knee out, finding your drishti. When you have your balance, heel can be against your ankle, your calf, stick your knee, come all the way up, or even half lotus if that works for you. It's okay if you fall out, just come back into it. Notice if your mind wandering is what's causing you to come out of your pose. Good, and down, shake it out. And come on down onto your mats on your bellies. Taking a few breaths here in crocodile pose. Turn your head. And bring your chin onto the mat, your hands by your side, your legs parallel. Let's inhale one leg up off the floor, pressing the hips down. Half locust. And down. Inhale, lift the other leg up, keeping the hips on the floor, reaching out through your heel or your toes. If you get a cramp, you can flex your foot instead of pointing it. Take a deep breath. Let's inhale, head, hands, and legs, and if you like. Taking nice deep breaths and riding the breath. And goddess arms. And down and back into crocodile. And turn your head the other way. Let's roll over onto our backs. Bring the knees into the chest one more time, giving yourself a hug, flattening your back into the mat. Bring the feet to the floor for bridge pose. Let's do the bridge variation with the arms up overhead. Nice deep breath and reach your arms up over your head. Press into the heels and begin to lift the hips. Again, if this doesn't work for your shoulders, your hands can be at your sides. Feel a nice hollow in your throat. You're not jamming your chin into your chest. Keep breathing into the stretch, and as you feel the body relax, it's possible you'll go a little higher. This is a lovely pose to practice your Ujjayi breathing. It almost happens automatically because of how your throat is in this asana. And slowly come back down. Release your hands back at your sides. Bring your knees in and give yourself another hug. Let's reach the legs out and come into an upward facing V. Hands relaxed inside your legs. We're going to do reclining eagle. So we're going to bring the legs together and either crossing ankles or bending the knees. I'm sorry, reclining cow face. I apologize, cow. So you're either squeezing your legs together with the ankles crossed or crossing the knees and bending your legs, grabbing your ankles and pulling your legs in towards you while you press your sacrum into the floor, press your belly into your back. Keep your shoulders and face relaxed. If you're just crossing your ankles, you can have your arms in goddess or just reaching out. Breathing into that lovely stretch. And let's release and open out into our wide-legged pose. Again, we're pressing the belly into the back and the back into the floor. Long spine. And we're crossing the ankles the other way and squeezing the legs together or bending the knees, crossing the knees, grabbing your ankles and pulling your knees in towards you. Reclining Gomukhasana. Keep pressing your sacrum down into the mat at the same time, lengthening your back. Keep the face and neck relaxed. And release, opening out into one more wide-legged upward facing V. And bring your legs back in, one more hug, and then choose your favorite inversion. You can put your hips on a block and do waterfall. You can have legs up the wall or up the chair. You can do shoulder stand, or just reach your legs up. Arms can be underneath your butt or reaching towards the sky. We'll hang out for 1 minute. And slowly come on out of that, giving yourself another hug. We'll come into a spinal twist. So let's roll the knees to one side and then square, knees on top of knees, ankles on top of ankles. If you'd like more challenge, reaching your top leg out straight and grabbing your big toes with the first 3 fingers of that opposite hand. Let's reach the top arm up and over, turning your head away from your knees and surrendering your shoulder into the floor. And if you want a little more challenge, take the bottom leg and straighten it towards the bottom of your mat, towards the short end. Let's bring the legs back in, bring your arm back over. Give yourself another hug as you roll onto your back. And then we'll lower the knees to the other side. We'll square the legs, right angles from hips to knees, from knees to heel.
If you want more challenge, you're straightening your top leg, grabbing your big toe with the first 3 fingers of your opposite hand. You're going to take your top arm and open it up, out, away from your leg, turning your head away from your leg, softening your shoulder into the floor. And if you want more challenge here, straightening your bottom leg towards the short end of your mat. It's a lovely pose to close your eyes and go inside. Focus on your slow Ujjayi breathing. And let's bring the legs back in, bring the arms back together, roll onto your back, give yourself one more hug, maybe a little rock from side to side or anything else that your body needs before coming into Shavasana. And if you like in Shavasana, you can remember those little cubes of oxygen carrying packets of prana. Breathing in the prana, exhaling toxins out. You can stay here as long as you like. When you're ready, slowly bring some movement into your fingers and toes. Gently move and stretch in whatever way feels good to you. Bring your feet flat on the floor. Roll to one side, make a pillow with your arms. And blink your eyes gently to come back into the room. Place your hands on the floor in front of you, lean forward and come to a seated position. Take one more deep breath in. Exhaling with the mouth. And let's bring the hands to the heart and the third eye and up overhead. Namaste. Thank you for coming to class. Hope you enjoyed practicing with me.